I don't know, she's actually tripling down, but now she's deleted her reply. And usually when you delete something, that means it's true. It's crazy that the person making that call-out post ends up being themselves a tracer. That's so wild. When I first saw this, so now, oh, okay, this is an appearance from Momaoka. She's a friend of the channel. She's been in the channel a couple times. She screenshotted the thread. 800 plus VTubers scammed by AI company. Were you one of them? As I started doing VTuber commissions, I checked other artists with the same price range as mine. I got curious because some of my clients got models from this company. I decided to check more about it. Why would they charge such a price with a really good render quality while having many beginner mistakes? After a little digging, I understood why, and here it is. And when I looked at this thread, at these pictures, I also wondered, is this AI or not? She goes on to say, they're using AI, and it shows in several ways: shadows, details, completely mismatched, inconsistent render quality within the same piece, illogical hair strands and braids. And when she did that thread, I assumed that she had gotten it was like a collaborative of many other VTubers going to her, and they all had pitched in and it was like verified. But apparently not, because some of the artists made another document on it, and the story has really blown up. It's gotten 1.5 million views, and that was before it got deleted, because by now Liz B has changed her Twitter handle. She has deleted the post and she's basically in hiding. The post got community noted. The story has went completely out of hand, and Grummz picked up on it. I don't know how I don't understand how he's getting these VTuber stories, but I wish he stopped covering VTuber stuff. But yeah, damn, man. Grummz, I thought he was just another, you know, large internet account, but I do feel like he is one of the person that's really pandering in the negativity. Every single one of his posts is like outrage, 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 outrage. Like, jeez, you know, you gotta mix it up. Put some lewd anime girls in here and there. I used to follow this account, like Grummz account, and I thought he was cool. I didn't realize the scope of it until recently, where I'm getting a little bit tired of it. So the problem with my coverage right now is I wanted us to go through every single diagram that she posted, but she deleted the post and no one has screenshots. So we have two options. We go through whatever Grummz shows us, or we go through what Rev's displaying in his video, or we skip that part entirely, but we won't have her side of the story, and I want you guys to be aware of that during our coverage, and we only cover the refutation of this. And there's some screenshots here and there, so does he have all of them? We could just watch Rev's video on that part. Okay, these are just screenshots of Forest 7. So let's watch the Rev video, because we're not gonna see any screenshots. And I have the timestamp here.
And how they feel about this supposed evidence in a little bit. But in that same thread, in the replies, this artist would continue on by saying that what they're doing, what their competitor is doing, should be illegal, and that they've made over 1,000 models, and so many people have been robbed of an opportunity as artists because people went to this supposed AI user instead of going to real artists. They would go even further. They would not only make this public call-out thread that got over 2 million views, by the way, they would also reach out in private to people saying this: I spoke with 2 of my clients who purchased models from this company, and neither of them was aware that AI was involved in the process. I suspect most, if not all, of their customers don't know about this. So they're going into private and trying to track down their own clients who are also clients of this second artist here who's being called out in this thread. On top of that, they would give a direct link. They say a company, but they only list one artist in their thread, and it's this person named Forest 7, who we'll talk about in a little bit. But also, because of the hysteria surrounding this subject in the VTubing scene, a lot of people in the replies were able to track down this artist thanks to that previous post, and now they were encouraging people to report their—
oh shit, they reported them and stuff. Damn.
Etsy shop, literally threatening this person's livelihood over the claims made in this thread. Now, a lot of people would get very nervous, especially clients of this artist. And
I saw that girl, that tweet that he's showing from Q Keko. I felt so bad for her because she was like, oh no, she was like, guess I got scammed, be right back, gonna cry. And then after this, she made another post saying, man, I really like the new model that I debuted, but even though I really like it, I'm not gonna be able to use it because I'm really against AI. So then she's like, I guess I'll have to get a new model, but I don't have the funds for it. I don't know what to do. If anybody has advice, please let me know. I felt genuinely bad, but now we know that it's, now with what we know now, we know this isn't true. So I guess she won't need to get a new model, but it was sad.
I don't really blame these people, but the hysteria surrounding this is showing itself because some people are saying things like this. I guess I got scammed. Be right back. Gonna cry. Here's another client saying, I'm honestly heartbroken saving up so much money for my first ever 2D model to hear about this personally. I am not good at knowing these things, but first pick is what I received as my final sketch. Second pick is my actual model, which was taken in VTube Studio today. However, as this thread was out there for longer and longer, there was a lot more skepticism about its honesty, and artists started to
I don't know. I mean, the belt part seems off. Why? But that's just, this part is just like, oh, it's, the outline is missing. I don't know why.
Their opinions on this, including on individuals like this who were concerned that their model was made through AI. So here's a couple of artists in the replies of that tweet saying,
there's some people complaining about the ads in the chat. I don't add any ads to my YouTube channel or my Twitch. So that's all on YouTube, man. Take it up with YouTube or Twitch.
I think they just forgot to clip your shirt, which would be a human error. As an artist, none of this looks like AI, but rather human error. Also, it seems like she's taking screenshots of incomplete model like yours rather than the finished ones and claiming that the unfinished / sketchy quality is due to AI. Hi, I am professionally trained to spot AI, and this entire thread is just slander and grossly misleading. You're fine and your model is man-made. They just made a clipping error. Then you can see someone attaching the statement from 407 that we'll look at in a little bit. And here,
how can you be professionally trained to detect AI? Isn't AI just brand new? Professionally equipped? How can you be, damn, you got professionally trained that fast? It came out like this year. For schools and stuff, it might be important because people will cheat in school with AI.
Here is another person who says this. I commissioned my current model from them, and I could not disagree more. Zooming in on my own model, I can see small line art imperfections that really could be made, or could only be made, by a human artist. This whole thread is just a bitter smear campaign attempt, in my opinion. And on top of that, when this was all happening, another user would come out and make this accusation towards the original poster of the thread, saying that it's not a...
Okay, the rest I can do myself. Thank you, Rev, for your contribution. So this is the artist that works for the company, and basically they claim that Liz B made this call-out post to take out some competition. Isn't that insane? It's crazy that the person making that call-out post ends up being themselves a tracer. That's so wild. The person pointing finger ends up being somebody that traced somebody else's art. Is that projection? Like, what is it? What is it if it's not projection? Okay, she deleted that post. I had the side by side. Lisby like tried to defend herself doing a diagram. She was like, no, the face is a little bit more narrow and the nose is different and the mouth is different. I was like, what? But it's exactly the same. The face is exactly the same. It's just, you can tell it's like kind of trying to be the same style too. It is the same base model. That is Lisby's model. Your thighs are bigger and your legs are more straight too. The other girl doesn't even show her waist outline. She's basically filled in the blanks. It's morphing exactly into the same spots. Yeah, I'm not convinced that this isn't traced. This feels traced. This feels traced. I'm more convinced that this is traced, that the other thing was AI. That is for sure. Even the render looks similar. So let's read. So Bun is the artist that she copied, and she says, I use my own base templates on all my adopts and ref sheet comms. These aren't VTuber models, by the way, which is how I think people recognize the similarity. I render the skin and eyes differently every time. I drew the base for me, and it's not free to use. In this case, I'm really unsure if it's entirely trace or just reference. I saw Liz's argument, and while there are obvious similarities with my base, there are also differences. Although I am aware that you can still trace and redraw other parts, as stated by some of you, this is really hard for me because I don't want to point fingers. The more I look at it, I see my art, but at the same time, I know people are free to be inspired by it too. I'm torn. Woke up to a lot of DMs. I just want to say that I'm so tired of people taking my art. I just found out my art was being fed into AI last week, and I'm still processing that. I'm so tired and overwhelmed by it all. Stop DMing me about it anymore. I'm overwhelmed. I'll go back to sleep. And now Forest7 is one of the artists that work for that company. And they say, absolutely cannot tolerate all of these false accusations. I will present all the original drafts and refute all of this slander at Lisby Art. She's untagged because she either blocked him and also she changed her handle. Thank you so much for your support. Without you, I might have already broken down. However, I'm still facing a lot of doubts. I will reflect on my previous lack of vigilance regarding AI. So Lisbeth is just a jealous person that can't handle that people are willing to deliver quality for less. Yes, and she emphasized that it was because someone abandoned her draft that they chose mine. Wait, is that why? As I started doing VTuber commissions, I checked other artists with the same price range as mine. I got curious because some of my clients got modeled from this company. For me, this reference is a bit disjointed from what Forest7 is stating here. I hope you end up with a lot more work out of this. The best way to defeat this person is through success, and I think this smear campaign is going to backfire. It's not halal. It's not halal, guys. This is so messy the way it is cut out from AI, apparently. How about this bald head? This was part of the original thread. I remember that photo. Actually, the rigging for this order was refunded a long time ago because the client was not satisfied and not give a chance for revision. As a former client, I can assure that the model was custom made. You even helped me with some design decisions. No way AI was involved with the change I asked. Sorry you had to put up with this situation because of unfair competitors. Okay. Let's look at the threads. In response to the AI accusations made against Forest7. So I woke up to messages from a dear friend of mine that first and foremost showed my model has been leaked, and not by me, and secondly my model parent and the studio they represented being accused of using AI for all their works. I think the accusations are false, and here's why I think so. The commission progress began late last year. First over Twitter, and then everything was sorted through Discord thereafter, so I have all of our conversations saved. It's taken months to get the model, so to me, that does not indicate it being made by AI. In fact, I've had 2 separate artists work on my model, as the first one wasn't quite to my liking, and I could afford to pay more for higher quality, so I did. From the first sketch I got back to the current model I have that still has some fixes to be done. I'd also like to point out that I can't even find the original post where Forest is being accused, but it's been almost a year-long process for my model from this stage to what I have now. And at a time, I was hecking worried I was being scammed to the long waits between updates, but that is likely just all the people who also were talking to them asking for updates or making requests. This is the absolute first sketch I got back and has gone through many edits, fixes, and more since then, which will all be shown down below. I asked for many changes and was always worried I was bothering or annoying Forest, but they were patient with me and I understand, and I learned a lot thanks to them. I asked for change after change, and then when I got the final look, I wasn't quite happy and I had a lengthy chat with them saying I was not quite happy. And that essentially slowed down my entire model making as we had to begin over from scratch. But again, Forest had been so patient and I did not have to pay extra for any of these, and for that I'm so thankful. I asked for the horns to be changed, and I simply drew some horns myself and plastered over his sketch to explain I was given him a few days later. I asked for the horns to be a different color and was granted that. I asked for so much, I'm just gonna dedicate a few pages here to showcase all the different changes to the sketch. I drew the bracelet and first thought it was a weapon, so it got this back with a few things. I had asked to be changed and added. Of course, quickly had to correct it was about the bracelet and stuff. Here you can see the finished rendition of the first version of my model. But as even Forest stated, I was not quite pleased, and thus we began over again. So this is the render. These are the sketches. Here's some of the change I asked for. So the tail, And the reference I used for my eyes that later had to color change in Photoshop to not have melon eyes, although they look delish, but I wanted gray and I just wanted the details of the reference used. And here's the first sketch back with said melon eyes. There was also a question posed about age, if I found this to look too young, and I said yes. But I absolutely love the style, so the style was kept and she was made to look slightly older. And here's my model illustration finished, not rigged yet. No expression made at this time, and I commissioned them later, many iterations later. And me and other artists I've been working with for other commissions fell in love. My entire support team and moderators and countless others have helped me get here, have all approved of this, and the next step was to approve, rigging, and change, but in total, it almost took a year to get there. Furthermore, the artist who started all of this has gone and deleted everything that was posted, but first snapped this for me to share to give some clarity as to what this document is about. Lisby's saying, the AI artist is trying to defend themselves while playing the victim, so many people that were his client confirm here in comments and reposted about it. Drawing over the top or dividing in layers isn't proof. That is literally what I'm accusing him of. Gets AI and draws on. Very important, AI generated art can't be copyrighted. That means anyone else can just directly steal your model. Same as your model was generated by stealing other artists' work. All images were taken from their Etsy and portfolio, even if that is truly a company with many artists. Not a single style ever repeats. It is not possible to always create a new model in a new style. All hands, eyes, ears are always different. I don't know, she's actually tripling down, but now she's deleted her reply, and usually when you delete something, that means it's true. And because she changed her handle, somebody else took her handle and is making a Lisby parody account. Art tracer, false accuser, backbiter, coward. I mean, not wrong. Okay, Scarlet Knight says, on the recent AI/Senyu drama of my model maker and others in the group, I'm mostly sharing my opinions of things may be repeated. I don't think the whole company is at fault, but I do think a few artists in their team use AI, and that brought a bad rep to the entire company. I'm really hoping my artist isn't one of them because I love my model. And I'm hoping that the errors on mine are just human errors and not AI error. I'm going to bring up this point even if I don't like drama. I will step in when I see my friend being hurt or being pushed down. Like, generally, how do you think most of us feel when we all got dragged into unwanted drama that we couldn't control and then got called slanderous? It's true, I thought it was many people that had gotten work from this company. I thought it was clients of the company making the post, but no, it was somebody else doing the post on their behalf. For assuming the worst when it was 100 people calling our models AI. Like, I'm sorry if I come off like an ass when there's so much shit stacked against it, like riggers and artists alike DMing us, telling us that the models are off. I mean, you can't use AI in rig, right? Here are just a few other things my artist/rigger friend has noticed, and an example video of how easy it is to split AI. Oh, I didn't know you could split AI. Really? Blurry mouth, high-res bottom jaw. Weird hands. Sen edited out the AI generation before and after. Oh, that looks way cleaner. Oh, that's the finish part of the jacket. Customer cloud? But he said he received the left one. So I'm confused now. Study the rig files and uses templates. Deformers. Quality isn't great. Weird strand. That strand isn't that weird. It's part of the other part. Is it? I guess it should be fully outlined. Customer Juju Mall Scarlet, similar separation habit as AI artist.
Unfortunately, people think that if your model is separatable, it's not AI generated. But artists are super cunning nowadays. They're able to separate AI generated artworks. As you can see, I'm doing a very scuffed one. I don't have the full program, so super low resolution. So yeah, just be careful, guys.
Wait, no, they don't use AI to rig VTuber model, but they'll use an AI image and separate it. But like usually when you receive, okay, maybe I can pull up one of my files. When you receive a model, the pieces are already all separated. So it's like, but it should be cut cleanly. So for example, take this. So this is my old model file. Each piece, each strand, even some shadows are cut separately, so each part that is cut is a movable part. But I guess what they're doing is they're grabbing the nose, then they're putting like a base under, they're grabbing the mouth, they're putting a base under, or they're drawing other shapes of mouth. But You would still need to draw it exactly like the AI render. It's not uncommon to create a full model and then adjust the cuts after. Oh, okay. Also, just how weirdly my model is cut too. If you're trying to rush out models, like people are saying, why make it harder for yourself when people ask for new outfits? Like we are missing entire body parts. Even if it's not AI, I think we're totally in the rights to say something. I mean, my model, my 2.0 was missing and is missing entire body parts. If I remove a piece of my model, there's no body underneath. Which sucks because you can't get new outfits. That's why you have to purchase a nude body part if you want an outfit, or you have to go to like a high-end modeler that will have a body underneath. Yeah, like you guys know the booba t-shirt short that I made, that I posted on Twitter. That shirt, I had to get an entire other body to put under, because if I hid my kimono sleeves, my model didn't have arms. So I had to purchase an Etsy body, like a template. It cost me like $30 just so I could have arms. It was so silly. This is why when people are like, oh, I prefer your old model, is you guys don't understand how much limitation there was with this old model. About a product we spent our hard-earned money on. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my model and the art looks nice, but I still feel the need to still say something because it's still a rather unbelievable thing that it could be, and I generally hope with the time-lapse we are proved wrong, or if there's a specific artist in the company using any AI, they are called out and promptly fired. Also, Sen does not deserve any threats of the sorts. I still think you should treat the company fairly until they are able to bring forward evidence. Okay, so he's saying, I'll start with self-inspection, and if I found any drafts that might involve AI, I will contact the clients to either offer a refund or redo the work. If there's any future requests, please let me know in advance if you require screen recording. All artists will at least do one screen recording. Finally, a plan to hide or delete the clarification video. I hope this whole drama can come to an end. This is one of the models they made. This is really clean. This looks clean, right? Yeah, that one too. This is drawing process of one of the artists who is at the center of the controversy. However, the designer is reluctant to reveal their technique, so only part of the process was recorded. Nevertheless, it's clear that their style is consistent with their previous work. That is a cute model. The designer being reluctant to show the full process of their art in the middle of an AI controversy is suspicious. The YouTube video is just them spending 7 minutes rendering a small section of the hair on a model that's mostly complete. So he's outsourcing the work. I'm really hoping so, but the fact you were caught having anyone with AI was still very detrimental towards a lot of us. I've already spoken on it to you, and I'm sorry if I came off harshly in my wording before, but it still hurts a lot of our reputation. Hello, are you there? After our review, we found that the artist who created this work for you used AI. We can offer you a refund or remake the piece. Please let us know what you would like us to do. So it was the cat. Let's see the video. Okay, that looks a lot cleaner. I feel like they should have separated the bangs though, if they want to move them, but who knows? I don't know what do you need to do to rig a model. They are separating the bangs, I think. Oh no, that's just the shading. I don't know, man. I don't know. Are you guys convinced? I'm gonna skip over. This is a little too long. I'm comparing both eyes and they look very similar too. Although there is no outline on the top lip. Maybe the eye is a bit weird. This one looks legit. This one looks really legit, no? Okay, so that's it. This is the only video of that one artist that was proved. We haven't seen time-lapse of anything else. All right, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see as this story develops. I see. It is the issues I had slightly fixed by myself. I also thank you honestly for studying on this and looking at what we have to say. Yeah, no worries. No worries. You know, don't give up. Anything else? Oh yeah. Okay, this is a guide on how to spot AI images. I thought it was pretty useful. They also used some of the images that were in the original document. Visible stylistic brushstroke, eyes are consistent in quality, asymmetrical details are clear and textured. The shadow match. The artist just didn't draw it long enough. You can see the same feathering on the brush and below. Floating hair strands they tried to paint in. What does paint in mean? Shadows don't match the hair. Oh, that was the original callout post. What is this little thing supposed to be pointing out? This is an artist mistake. Source, I do it sometimes. When working with hundreds of layer inconsistencies like this can happen easily. Her shadows are fun emo and I get carried away. Sometimes you paint a few stray strands and forget it was not supposed to be there. TLDR, it's a common human mistake. Not logical ahoge, seems like it's not attached. What? Was that really part of the first accusations? Really? This is very common in both VTuber models and in general anime styles. These are characters with ahoges and on the side of their heads. This is trying to be a shadow of this stuff. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Shadows don't match the hair. Okay. Hand-drawn pattern on ribbon. AI is very bad at pattern. Just copied from the right, very common thing to do when drawing a mostly symmetrical model, or just forget to adjust it. The shadows are made with the vision of the character from above. Unfortunately, not super great, but again, human mistake. Yeah, it looks like human drawn. She got eyeballs in her ears. Interesting. This being cut off is a layering mistake. The back hair piece is on top of the shadow. Shadows don't match hair. Actually, yes, it does. Wait, I'm confused. Okay, so her thing is in red. His thing is in blue. Yeah, I like this design. What about these, you ask? They're shadows of the long back hair. The artist blended these shadows in with the front hair shadow, so it may look a bit strange at first glance. This was just a mistaken upload of a sketch instead of the final image. Probably a case of the client requesting additional accessories. This one is fun. Okay, this is clearly not finished. It's just like kind of painted over. AI struggles with structured pattern and consistency, especially when put under scrutiny. It's great at making things that only look good at a glance. Also, I think this is where they sort of ran out with points and went with hairs weird, so AI hair, eyes weird, so AI eyes. Weird difference in render quality. Blurred one looks like AI image they used to paint over. The rendering style on both look exactly the same. This is a very common stylistic choice. Blurring and putting foggy effect on things that are further from the foreground helps focus attention to the foreground. Maybe not super common in VTuber models, but it's an extremely common stylistic choice. Sections of the horn are nicely spaced and lines aren't garbled. Garbled? What does that mean? Braids have already been fixed. Oh, I remember seeing that one. Okay, this is the document that was defending that model. It took them a year to get to that model. The pendant has great and detail and logical. True. So the AIs... No, this person is claiming that it's AI because the braids are not completely rendered, but this was not a finished image. This is the rendered image, and in there the braids are finished. A few points why I think this one is ridiculous. This could have just been a whip. I don't know the context of when and how the pic was posted. So it was a whip. You think they couldn't cover up AI braid any better when the rest of the model is perfectly rendered? When there's a perfectly good rendered braid right next to it, they could have copied or worked with. Okay, I don't understand this.